sent to these stores. So, I mean, you know, it's not just a suspicion on my part. It's something that, you know, when people come up to me and they say, I got a box with a shoebox within a shoebox, and inside there was a bag of white powder, and I got scared and I wanted to do it with the UPS truck, but the person downstairs told me that supposed to come to our store. You know, that's more than just a suspicion that it sounds like, you know, we know what we're talking about.
What do they do with the deliveries once they get them? Are they turning them over to the police department?
Who? No, this guy told me, a guy came up to me and he said, I just want you to know
Well, this is anecdotal information.
No, I know.
This is
definitely not permissible in court.
I don't know, even if it's true. I mean, I know he's telling you that, but I wouldn't believe it until I see it. So, I'm not saying it's not possible, it certainly is, but unless he brings it to us, which he certainly should, you know, I don't really give too much weight to it.
Okay. I mean, I also spoke to some people that, you know, said to me, when you see 12 money transfer places in one downtown area, I have never seen a line of people waiting to do money transfers.
If somebody delivered drugs to your business, would you actually find out who it belonged to, or would you bring it to the police department?
I'd bring it to the police department.
Just there's another point in there which is about loitering and.
I'm getting to that. Right. The other issue is a lot of the businesses, since we don't know exactly what they're doing, but they have loiterers standing in front of them. The businesses obviously don't care if they have loiterers. Now, so I know that you can't enforce a loitering law as far as you can arrest somebody for loitering. But in many communities, I'll give you an example. On Rodeo Drive in Beverly Hills, in front of the Cartier store, you don't see loiterers. They're just not there. Why are they hanging out in front of the store there? Because the community doesn't stand for it.
Different states have different laws.
Okay,
generally, you cannot have any kind of, and you can ask Mr. Waters' legal opinion on it. It's unconstitutional to enforce any kind of loitering laws. People can stand where they want to stand, unless they are obstructing the passageway, then we can do something about it, or they're committing a violation of a disorderly persons offense or some kind of municipal ordinance, then we can take action. Other than that, our hands are tied. There's essentially nothing we can do.
So I called the police last week. There was a crowd of people. It was nice. They actually had a performance on the sidewalk, and they blocked the entire sidewalk from getting by.
Certainly we can take action.
And I said, and they had no permit. And when I called the police told me, when you people have your total movements, you don't get permits, so why should they get permits? And that type of attitude is something that I've been experiencing the whole time since we started this downtown commission. Anytime I call and I say, you know, we would like to see something being done because they're ruining commerce in downtown, and I'm not just calling for the Jewish community, I'm calling for the entire community. I don't care who it is. We're talking about turning the downtown into a place where people can do business. And people
Comparing
can't do business when there's people standing on the street.
to a secretary is just absurd.
Okay,
I don't know who
but they
made
did.
that
There
remark.
was more than one officer, it was 3 different officers.
If that happens, you call me directly.
Okay,
all right? So
give me your number.
don't give me 2 weeks or a month later that happens. Call me immediately and I will take care of it.
Okay, I informed a few people and
In general, is there a policy that the officers, downtown walking officers follow? I know I've heard, and again, it's anecdotal, but I've heard from a number of people how, especially women who own the shopping in the downtown district, feel intimidated when they come to a corner, maybe with a child in tow or just by themselves, and there are clusters of sometimes 8, 10, 12 people that are just standing there, not crossing, they're not moving, they're standing there. Is there a policy that the department has or is it just kind of each officer just kind of makes his judgment when he wants to move down?
An officer will move things along if the sidewalk is obstructed. That's generally the general order. We will enforce violations. Occasionally we will do like mini blitzes where we'll have half a dozen officers scheduled to do quality of life enforcement. We try to do that on a weekly basis, and we've actually made literally hundreds of arrests over the period of this year for littering, urinating, violating other township ordinances, drinking in public, sometimes blocking the passageway. So we do that whenever we have the manpower to do it. But usually at least once a week we try to do that. We combine that with doing illegal taxi cab stings. So, it's when we have the manpower to do it.
If in front of my store, if there are people leaning against my building, am I allowed to tell them, please, am I allowed to call the police and say, I do not want this person leaning on my business?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So would it be illegal if we passed an ordinance in the downtown saying that every single business is required to call the police if something is leaning against their storefront.
I don't think so, but you can ask the.
That's not, no.
Why? If I can tell a business that you can't hang a banner from the front of your sign, can't I tell a business that you can't have a guy drinking beer out of a paper bag in front stoop?
Well, there is an ordinance, there's a brown bag ordinance, they can't consume alcohol, so that's covered.
Right.
But to say in the stores that they have to call if somebody's leaning against their building, I don't think so.
Okay. Okay, so we're stuck with it.
Well, you know,
We are stuck with it. I don't understand. I've seen towns where.
no, you have.
When,
I mean, there, let me.
Yes,
let me-
I have.
No, not in, not, no. The concept about loitering and being unconstitutional is nationwide. If you want to come up with Rodeo Drive examples, or the anonymous town examples, Rodeo Drive, they use private guards. You want to hire a private guard? You can do that, and they can remove people from in front of your street. But you can't ask a public entity to do that, which is unconstitutional. What you can do, though, is you can change some of your regulations. Those people congregate downtown for a reason. And if you try to remove the reason for their congregating, you can solve part of the problem. And you can do that a number of ways. You can adopt a no window solicitation rule, where a car cannot solicit business through a car window. That's enforceable in New Jersey. You can have no double parking. That's enforceable. You can restrict parking where the people come in to pick up the business. You can relocate a muster zone to an area behind parking areas. There's a lot that can be done to remove them from the downtown area.
And a lot of
I
those
just wanted to interrupt a
locations,
lot of-
that's their front yard, because they live upstairs, so they come out, that's their front
Yeah,
yard.
that's what I just
so-
want to tell you. I'm not talking about day laborers. I personally am not bothered by day laborers. I think they come into the town, they stand there, they get their jobs, and they leave. I don't think it's a wonderful, beautiful thing to have in the downtown, but I wouldn't go making a big stink out of that. What I'm talking about is people that are standing all day, harassing people that walk by.
Well, that's illegal.
That's
Okay,
illegal.
there's harassment
But,
going on.
okay, so I called
That's a
the
disorderly
police officer,
person
there was
violation.
an individual, who I actually called the police myself, who I witnessed cursing at families, walking by families with little children. The guy was standing in the middle of Second Street and cursing at them.
Will you sign the complaint?
I signed the complaint.
Because
But
if
he
we
did it
don't,
in front of the
if we don't
officer.
witness a disorderly persons violation, we cannot sign
He
it.
did it in front of the officer. He cursed at me in front of the officer, cursed at people on the street in front of the officer. The officer did nothing other than file a complaint. He didn't arrest him, he didn't do anything. So now I have to go to court with this guy, but the guy is a homeless person. I don't know, he lives on the street, I don't know where he lives. We couldn't even find an address to send it to. He said it's next door to Pinecone Liquors. That was his address.
Probably is.
Right, that is his address. Okay, let's talk about something that's a little bit easier to deal with. Okay, number 5, establishing bicycle rack parking only. Post warnings on bicycles, chains, and trees, and lampposts. I'm sure people have realized that when they walk by almost every single lamppost and tree in downtown, there's a bicycle on it. Many of these bicycles have been there for so long that they were probably made before they had gear bicycles that are kind of used for walking. They're something that isn't like the 1880s. So we have to establish some sort of maybe we can put some sort of a sticker, since they don't have a license that you can call up the owners. I guess we'd have to stick a sticker on the bicycle saying this bicycle will be removed in X amount of days, and get somebody with a chain cutter and cut off the bicycles, get rid of them. And then the other question is where to put the bicycle racks to help the people that arrive here by bicycle. Many of the bicycles are also here because the day laborers come and they park their bicycles, they go to get their jobs, and they come back at the end of the day to pick up their bike. So we want to prevent that. I've seen them sometimes 5 deep on the sidewalk. Is there anybody that's anti?
Is there an ordinance about that?
Don't know, but I'll check. But that is the proper subject of an ordinance. You can restrict bicycles being chained to trees, lampposts, or left on a street and be subject to removal. Sure, absolutely.
Now the only question is where to put the bicycle racks. I guess the UEC would deal with placement of the bicycle racks.
We would work with the police department for some input where they see, the people on the street really, we see the most need for
I mean, I think in
those
each
parking
municipal lot, there
lots.
should probably be at the perimeter of each municipal lot.
Yeah, something that wouldn't take up
It's
parking
hopefully not
space.
taking up a parking space, maybe in some, corner, you can just put in a bicycle rack or something. Can the